How you doing, Eddie? Yeah, it's Errol from Facebook calling from the YouTube boxing community. I'm here with Boxing Beats a Rhyme. Are you ready for interview?
Sure.
How you doing, Eddie Chambers? How we doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay, yeah, I'm not too bad. Hopefully, we caught you at a good moment to ask you some questions, some of your insights, and share some of your ring experiences with us. Okay.
Okay.
So,
sounds good.
Yeah. So I assume you watched Dennis Lebedev yesterday.
Yeah, I did. I watched. Well, I didn't actually see his fight or anything, but I did see a few of I looked at some of his older videos and a few things on him and seeing what kind of threat he would pose to me.
Okay.
And I don't want to say I was overly impressed with what he does in the ring, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't anything that I'm saying, oh my God, he is not worth my time. Yeah, he's worth every bit of the hard work that I'm going to put in the gym to beat him. So it's definitely a good fight, a good opportunity, and given sufficient time and if everything is in order as far as where the fight's going to be and the money and all those things, then I'll be more than happy to take the fight and get this show on the road. Yeah,
he looks like he's prepared to come over to the U.S. to fight, from what he said. Yeah,
I like that. I like that. He seems a bit of arrogance is welcomed in this regard because. It's a lot of people say they can't get a fair shake in those countries, over in foreign countries and everything. So
yeah,
and he's willing to come over here and I think make it as fair as possible, I guess.
Okay.
So it's a good idea. It's a good fight. It's something I'm definitely very interested in, and hopefully it gets done.
Eddie, I was going to say, inquiring minds would like to know, how comes you're dropping down to the cruiserweight from the heavyweight, where you've handled yourself quite decently? Why would you drop down?
Well, I want to be a world champion. I want to have the opportunity to fight for a world title, and it seems like in the heavyweight division, it's fairly a decent log jam there. And both the brothers are holding the belts, and Povetkin, and it doesn't seem as if those guys are really interested in fighting me, to be quite honest. And I feel that I've been fighting the heavyweight for my whole career. I've been fighting big monsters forever. I mean, I want to see what it's like fighting guys my own size now.
Okay.
They actually have to make a weight, and and we'll see what happens.
Right.
I mean, I know it is a big jump, going down. I mean, it's a big wow. Why would you do that? It's not as much money. Well, I'm not making a whole lot in the heavyweight division either. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of people to fight. Honestly, there's not a lot of challenges that of guys that will actually be interested in the fight. It's a very difficult fight. And, a lot of people feel. Some people feel that I guess I'm boring, you know what I mean? So it's like, what's the point on fighting him when I can fight this other guy who's, a much easier fight for more money and win and continue to, keep everything rolling,
Okay. I don't want to put the frighteners on moving from heavyweight to cruiser, but if you look what happened to Roy Jones and Chris Bird, and there's a few people who say it's not ideal to move down in weights because you'll be forced to actually make the cruiserweight limit now, as opposed to potentially weakening yourself to make the limit to fight. Any misgivings about that?
Do I have any trouble getting in the cruiser? Well, my last heavyweight fight was I ended up weighing 202. You know what I mean? Which obviously, that was 202 with sweatpants on and stuff in my pocket. So I probably was, probably under the cruiserweight limit at that point.
Right.
And I can make that weight to the greatest of ease. Right now, I probably weigh 204 or 203.
Okay.
And I'm just walking around, and you know what I mean. Although I always work out, I'm always active. I eat right, and I live right. But I still, at this point, am very in decent shape.
Okay. Excellent.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying decent shape only because, you know, most people will think I'm in tremendous shape. But for boxing and fight shape is two different things. A lot of people don't understand that. So I just want to clear that up.
Yeah. Eddie, so I'm here looking at your box rec, and I'm looking from 2009 and before that you was quite active. But when you fought Vladimir, it was almost like a really big gap. And then when you fought the guy after that, I think Derek Rossi.
Derek Rossi.
Rossi. It was like a year after, and then when you fought Tom Adabik, it was another year after that, practically. Is there any reason for that, or like you said, maybe you was holding up for the big fights? I know they're all world title shots. Well, actually, so apart from the Derek Rossi one, but is there any reason for that inactivity?
Well, one thing I did take off for Vladimir because I've never had any real loss. You know, like that where I was losing the fight and then I got caught in the end. You know what I mean? Where I've never really, for that matter, have been really hurt in a fight. And I just felt, from advice of people that know me and fight, big time fight people, and they just really thought that they'd best take a good time, some time off and recover, and then from there, make your decision on what you want to do as far as for, coming back and when you want to come back and who you want to fight. And, and that was after the Rossi fight, I was expected to fight, soon after, and possibly another shot at the title again for the same person, which I really, really wanted with Vladimir, but there was some other stuff thrown in there where I'm supposed to have to fight Tony Thompson. And at the end of the day, I said, you know what, forget it. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm going to get back there and get my opportunity again at the title. I do get ready to fight, and I end up getting this back problem that has been reoccurring, but it really got really bad for the fight with Tony. After that, I had a fight scheduled, just a few months after with Sergey Liakovic. And in training, I was training extremely hard, probably overdoing it, and I ended up getting a rib injury in sparring. I had to pull out of that fight. And then after that, I had the opportunity to fight Tomas Adamic, and then I got a torn bicep tendon during the first round of that fight, and had to fight the rest of the fight with one hand. So, I mean, it's just been I think it's been a bit of bad luck. You know what I'm saying? I think it's been a lot of bad luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I made a YouTube video about the fight. I basically said that Eddie Chambers got robbed. I thought it was a robbery, but,
Yeah, but you know what? It happens. Those things like that happen, especially, and being that we were fighting in Newark, which is basically a little Poland, for him anyway. And there were so many Polish fans there. He sells the place, almost sells it out. They run out of beer all the time. The Polish fans are, really into their boxing and they really love him. So, they couldn't have him lose like that. So, the fact that I had one hand, now, if it would have been different if I had two, I probably would have made it past the 5th or 6th round, honestly. I feel that way. And if he would have been so brutally beaten that maybe his corner would have decided it's not a good idea to continue. But the fact that I have one hand and had to figure out ways of, getting combinations off with one hand, it just turned out to be too much for the judges to say, well, we can't get the guy this fight. You know what I mean? We want him to win anyway. You know what I mean? So we're going to just make sure that he gets, the nod in some of those close rounds. And then on one of the judges' scorecards, I guess every round was a close round, and he got a nod on all of them. So, you know what I mean? That's just how it goes. The 119-109 card where I got one round. So it's just, these things happen, and you take the bitter with the sweet. Hopefully, if ever I get a situation where I have to go to someone's hometown or home country or whatever, I'll get a fair shake, or maybe I'll go in there and just have to, knock them out and take the judges out of the equation.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, it sounds like you said, hard luck. Or maybe, obviously, you do better at the cruiserweight division. It seems like there's some good fights for you, and obviously winnable fights for you. For you to do. And obviously, like you said, get your championship fight, establish yourself down in the cruiserweight division. Probably unification bouts would be good as well, if you could. I mean, I'm probably jumping a bit far back. Obviously, you're shooting high, obviously, and Dennis Lebedev is the biggest name down there, and you got Marco Hook. Style-wise as well, like if you look at the way you fight, and I think because I was talking to my partner at Beats, and I was saying I don't think they'll be able to hurt you, man, because I know obviously you got stopped in the last fight with the Klitschko, but man, you went 12 rounds with the Klitschko, so I don't see how these guys. Cause we watched the Denis Lebedev fight yesterday, right? And the guy he was fighting. I mean, when you do watch it, you'll see that when he was throwing punches, his arms were really wide. And what we were saying, because he's getting trained with Costa Zoo, is that what he wants to do with Costa, he keeps his jab in your face, so he blinds you until he can throw his right hand over the top. And what the guy did, when he was throwing punches, he caught him in the exchange, and he gave him an uppercut, and the guy was landing flat out on the canvas. And I'm saying with you, I don't think you'll be in that. Like you, I don't
won't
think
be.
You're fast. You could either like, because I see the way you fight. You got fast hands where you know you got your hand speed, and when he tries to throw, you'll probably clinch him and spin him.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I don't think he'd be used to that, you know. And then even if he does punch you, again, I don't feel like he has enough power in a way to stop you. And if that's what his main thing is trying to knock you out with his power and trying to bully his opponents with you, I can't see that happening. But you know.
And I think you're right too. I think strategically it's just not, you know, I guess he looks at the fact that I don't have a whole lot of southpaws on my, you know, resume. But I just don't, you know, a guy, you know, it's definitely a strategic difference, obviously. But if you're standing in front of me, I'm going to figure out a way to beat you. Simple as that. You know what I mean? And he thinks, you know, I mean, they feel, oh, I got the power. I still am 200 pounds. But you're not 250. You're not 6'6". You're not. You know what I mean? You're strong. You may be strong. You know what I mean? I don't know what you're doing, you know, in your spare time, and how much weightlifting you might, or whatever you might be doing to try to increase your strength. But I'm really not sure that it's going to be enough. And then on top of that, he's not the boxer I am. You know what I'm saying? I know this. And I'm not arrogant. You know, we all know this. But it's being honest. I mean, you know, there's really nobody, I think, at 200 pounds, or for that matter, anybody up from, you know, even some of the lighter weights that are the boxers that I am. And I'm not saying that in an arrogant way. It's the truth. You know, technically, I think I'm pretty technically sound. I'm adding different wrinkles to my game even now, you know, with my new trainer, James Bashir. So I think I have a lot of upside even at this sort of, if you want to call it, late age. But I haven't taken a lot of punishment in my career. So I'm really a young third. You know what I'm saying? Even though I turned professional at 18. I still have a lot of life left in me, and you know, I think people's forgetting that, you know, I've done a lot, but I haven't been punished. You know what I mean? Like,
did your dad box, Eddie?
You know, yeah.
Okay, I did remember reading that. You're one of the few heavyweights, I think, you and Kevin Johnson, who could sort of do that shoulder roll stuff. Few heavyweights who can do that. Where and how did you develop that?
Well, I actually, see, that's the stuff that I was saying I really adopted more recently. I mean, honestly, I watch a lot of James Toney. I watch a lot of, you know, Floyd Mayweather, and, you know, now even Honor, which is a young dude that I actually like to watch. But I watch these guys and I see how they, you know, incorporate that in their game. And more so James Toney. And I like what he's done using the old school methods, kind of bringing them back and adding them, and like adding it to his style and kind of putting it together. You know, then looking at Roy Jones with some of the athletic stuff he was still at this point in his career still trying to do. You know, those are things that I can do. I think I have the ability to do those things. And I think, you know, like I said, I'm adding those things now. You know what I'm saying? Even after a long, 12-year career, you know, I'm still adding new things to my game. And I'm having more fun now than ever, and I'm more free. So believe it or not, that has a lot to do with my improvements and where I'm going.
Excellent. Yeah, I remember your first breakout fight on ESPN. That was against the first fight with Derek Rossi, you know?
Right, yeah.
Was that your first fight on ESPN? That was your first breakout in the UK, at least. That's the first time we probably saw you.
That was my second television fight, I think.
Okay.
And it was the first, ESPN main event I had at that point.
Good memories?
You won that fight. So you won that fight clearly.
Teddy Atlas was impressed.
It was a good memory, definitely. And more importantly, because it was so difficult because I had got the flu, I think.
Okay.
Like the week of the fight.
Wow.
So I'm in there, like, literally sick. Like, oh man. Like before, you know, you the phlegm coming up and all that, and just like tired. It was just, oh man, it was horrible. But the more I fought, the more I fought, I started sweating it out. You know what I mean? And I started to feel a little better. And like by the 7th round, I mean, I was actually still kind of weak and tired, but boom, everything just It just all went smoothly. I ended up, hitting him with too many good shots, and then he just couldn't finish. He was wore down pretty much too, because see, it's the same thing where a lot of these guys are looking at me all, whether now in the cruiserweight division, not so much that I'm small, but he's defensive. He doesn't look strong. He doesn't punch hard. He doesn't this. He doesn't that, and they just really don't realize or think like, well, this is a man that is in front of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you do see that he does well, right? Mm-hmm. And fought much better competition than most of you.
Yeah.
And, to continue to keep, just disregarding what I've done and what I'm looking to do and improve I think is a bit disrespectful. However, hey, I welcome it. I'm not upset. I'm happy. You know what I mean? Because these people calling me out. And I think they're calling me out more because they want the title that I hold. Being that, he's a legit heavyweight title challenger. He gave this guy trouble. He beat this guy. He done this. So, if I beat him, then they'll I'm that guy. And I think what they're missing is the if, and the if I beat him. Mm-hmm. It's a big if. Mm-hmm. It's a big if. It's not a given. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when people look at Vladimir Klitschko, and I think I have a lot more flash than him. But when you look at him, if I win this fight, oh man, I'm gonna arrive. He doesn't look that big of a challenge. He's big and strong, and he got a good right hand. That's all he had. Look, let me tell you something. You can say what you want to say. You look at that dude, if you look at it, but when you get in front of him, it's a total different story.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think a lot of you guys do not understand that. You can say he's boring. You can say he's doing it like a lot of people say about me, and they hate the fact that they have the titles, but guess what? They're winning, and they're winning for a reason. People hated Lennox Lewis, too, and look what Lennox Lewis did. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you got to give credit where it's due and understand why they're where they are. And the part of the reason why I'm going to this division is because I want the opportunity to reign, as a champion. I want to be looked at as, man, this guy's serious. So that when I do decide to re-enter the heavyweight division, if that happens or when that happens, there's a lot of people that now may say, hey, I'm gonna pay attention to this guy now. I have gold around my waist and in my house and in my closets or wherever I put it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I want.
I want to quote you from the Boxing News. You said that they could keep the title till they're about 50. I think they can be beaten, Eddie, the Klitschkos.
No, I'm not saying they can't be. No, I agree. They can be beat. They definitely can be beat. Yeah. But I think the chance they have of getting beat by somebody that we've seen is unlikely, because there's not a lot of guys around that are their size that can do what they do. I think Vladimir more than Vitaly. I think the Vitaly's toughness is what makes him a really, really, really tough challenge for these guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and the fact that he's big and strong too. But I think Vladimir is a great deal of dexterity, athleticism, and along with the size and strength, they're really, really good. It's a real tough combination. There's not going to be many people you're going to find like that.
Yeah.
And if you do find somebody like that, they're going to lack some of the strength, some of the power. You know what I mean? Or the size. Okay. You know what I mean? And I just think they all have it in that one box, and that's where their success lies.
Right. Yeah.
We were talking to another heavyweight, and we was talking about the accusation that there may be, like, in the heavyweight division, people juicing, and if so, have you heard anything about? I'm not saying that you would say anything, but I'm just saying, like,
no. Look, I'm an honest guy. You know what I mean? I'm an honest guy. And one thing is for sure, the way I feel about it, I feel that there's a lot of guys doing it. I've talked to different ones. Of course, they're going to be anonymous. I'm not saying who they are. And there's been some, not saying they've done it, but they know people that did. You know, in fact, a lot of the division has done it in the past. Maybe not now so much, but in the past. Mm-hmm. And even now, probably more than ever. I mean, just to have that little advantage, you know what I mean? Or it's not a little advantage, a big advantage. It works and it helps. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why it's illegal. It's cheating. You know what I'm saying? And but they get away with it. What can you do?
What can you do?
Let me ask you about. So I'm watching your fight, and to be honest with you, it's the first time I see you fight against Vladimir, and I'm thinking, Emmanuel Stewart in the corner. Do you reckon that had a lot to do with obviously his victory, and obviously he's not in his corner no more because You know, like, you know, obviously Manny will make him stick to a game plan. Like, what do you think about that?
No, I agree. I think Emmanuel Stewart and James Ali Bashir and his team have a great deal, you know, for what he does. They're a great deal of the reason why he's where he is, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I think if Manny and, you know, Bashir and the whole Kronk, the whole organization, you know, if they don't show up, he may not ever get to the point where he is now. And I think he would agree with me. Mm. You know what I mean? I think he would. I think maybe he would have made it. It would have been a world because he was already a world champion at one point before he lost to lost to Corey Sanders fight, and then also the
Brewster, Lemon Brewster,
Lemon Brewster, exactly. And he lost those, and I was like, wow, you know what I mean? It was. Oh, he's not really. He's a bust. You know what I mean? Even if you listen to HBO, commentary when he lost to Corey Sanders, you know, he was supposed to be a bust and all of that. But I think, you know, trainers really can affect, if they are great trainers, can really affect change in a fighter so much that they can change him from being just, you know, a run-of-the-mill, you know, regular, you know what I mean? He's good, but he's missing this and that, to a real star, a real champion. You know, almost unbeatable. And I think that is what Emmanuel and Bashir and all those guys who worked with Vladimir really turned him into, something that's really difficult to beat. You know what I mean? A real challenge. And you know, and I think that just shows. Like, I mean, with Bashir now, he's really at this point adding a lot to my game. And I think it's going to be a lot for a lot of you. It's going to be a real tough challenge for most of these guys that I'm going to be facing in the near future. You know what I mean? To even, you know, win a few rounds. If I give it away, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're based at the Kronk Gym now?
No. I just work with Bashir, James Bashir.
And he's from the Kronk Gym, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, he works with him. He's with Kronk too. But I mean, I went to Kronk Gym, you know, before they closed it and everything. I had my last camp there actually. It was great. It was a new experience. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? I've had great camps at my own gym, James Schuler's, which is, in my opinion, I don't like to put any other gyms down or not, but I think it's the best gym in the city of Philadelphia. You know, I really, really enjoyed being a part of that gym. Maybe it's just for me. There's other great gyms in the city. There's no doubt about it. You know, Joanne and a few others you know, there's a few with Danny's Garcia's gym and a few others that are Front Street. They're all really good gyms. But
James
I've been a member of James Schuler for a long period of time, and I really enjoy that work. But when I went to the Kronk Gym, let me tell you, it had to be over 100 degrees in there every day. And it was in the summertime. So you think it is in the summertime, right? So when you go outside, and outside is 80 degrees, and it feels cold, that's when you know you were in like a sauna for 2 or 3 hours. And that was part of the reason why it was easy for me to get my weight down so quickly. You know, besides the fact that I was working really hard and eating right as well. But I mean, oh my goodness, it was a different level there. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, it was a very, very, very life is a career changing experience. The kind of thing that helps you, you know, see things a little differently. Maybe I want to do this in my gym now. You know, maybe I want to have the heat up to 150. You know what I mean? While I'm training, it'll make me 100% better. You know?
That's exactly what Jonathan Banks said.
We interviewed Jonathan Banks.
He said the same thing. That the heat hits you like a punch.
And JB worked with me for that fight.
Okay.
I mean, boy, oh man, there was some days in there. And I had some good sparring in there. I was working with mostly 168 pounders and a couple heavyweights. You guys were wearing me out.
I saw the build up. I saw the build up on on CBS. I saw the build up show. I saw the 360.
Fight Night 36.
Yeah. I saw the build up show, and I saw you guys having fun and joking around in the Kronk Gym where it was all serious, and I saw the whole thing, and I saw the post conference as well, and I was like, man, this is hard luck and that, you know, because the thing is, you had a really great camp, you know, but you know, like you said, things happen, innit? But I did think you won won the fight, you know, against Solomon. I did think you won. I think he I think he's actually gone down, actually, or you made him look bad.
That's what a lot of people said.
You made him look like that guy was shot, man.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I think people don't really understand it. He looked bad, not just because he was not as good or he didn't have his. He's always been that way.
Yeah.
The way he looked in his last, I don't know how many fights, it's been the same.
Yeah.
It's been the same. I think people are, he's a little bit older. It's not that he lost the step. It's he fought a different fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, people don't understand when you put another guy in front of someone. Like, it's like when you say, okay, Floyd Mayweather, everything, Floyd Mayweather fought Manny Pacquiao, before this knockout. I'm going to say, I think Manny Pacquiao will get Floyd. There's a lot of people, I think Manny will get Floyd. And I'm sitting there like, wow. And then you look at how easily he beat Marquez. And they still would think, remember, Pacquiao had so many tough fights with Marquez.
Yeah.
And then, of course, with the knockout, now that kind of seals it. But you say, well, I still think Manny could beat Floyd, even though Floyd beat Marquez. That's true.
Yeah.
You put different guys in different situations in front of different fighters, the outcome can be completely unexpected.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's one thing about combat sports. It's so unexpected.
Yep.
Put it this way: expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And I think people don't really get that as much nowadays in sports, and that's why I love boxing. I love strategic combat. And I mean, first of all, I'm a big fan of basketball as well, but I love the strategic part of the combat.
Yes.
Like, you can figure out things and learn how to do this, and the athleticism and all that is great, but it's the strategic part that really gets me really excited about it.
Yeah, I can see you love that about boxing. I can see,
how to implement different things and you take advantage of other fighters' weaknesses and all that. It's great. And I love that part. And I think when you understand that is when you'll be able to understand boxing a bit more.
So where would you rate Floyd Mayweather amongst the greats?
Oh, I think he's in there. I think he's in there with them. Maybe not the top guy, but he's one of the best skill fighters I've ever seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He can adapt to any situation just as good as anyone I've ever seen. So you got to put him right up there. You know what I mean? I think people get mixed up because boxing doesn't have the huge name it has had, in the past, the Ray Leonard era and, the Ray Robinsons and the Tommy Hearns and all of those guys and those eras around those weight classes that we've seen, the Durans, the Agueros, all of those, you know what I mean? And they're just looking and they're saying, well, he wouldn't have beat him. He wouldn't have beat him. And it's like, look, wait a minute. You don't know that. You put him in front of that guy, he may turn his game up 10 notches. And who's to say that those guys are a whole lot better than who you're seeing fighting right now? You know what I'm saying? The athleticism rises as we evolve as human beings. It's not going to go regress for the most part. I mean, what should it? Would it regress, or do we start to adapt differently to different situations? You know what I'm saying? So why is it so hard to believe that a fighter in this era could beat a fighter in the past eras? To me, it makes just as much sense as anything. It's like, I think that Michael Jordan could have played now and done just as well or even better than they did back then.
Yeah, you damn right. Yes, sir.
But LeBron James could have went back in time and got in the time machine and would have been doing a lot of what he's doing now.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think he's mentally strong because you see the way they used to foul. They used to foul pretty bad. You see what happened to Kirk Rambis, bro. I don't think Finn will be used to that, And the bad boy Knicks, they would have roughed him up, man.
I will say I agree with you to a point. Yeah. But see, if he came along around that time, right? And was playing then, just like if Jordan was coming along around this time, right? Yeah. They're going to adapt to the situation.
Yeah, of course.
And he is clearly more athletic, more versatile than just about any player that we've seen running around here.
Yeah, you're right.
Now, is that not true?
Yeah, that's
true. I mean, we got to say it. I mean, he could average a triple-double, really, if he really just wanted to take the ball up and do it every time. He could.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, you got to look at this. You know what I mean? Just like in boxing. I love Ali. That's my guy. He's the biggest sports icon, I think, of all time. No matter whether you talk about how great he is as a fighter or what, I think his spirit, when he does that,
his skill set,
beyond just he reaches beyond boxing. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And he still be great today, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Look, could you imagine right now? And I love, and trust me, I wish I could see him fight today. But it would just be very difficult for me to believe that he would have just went in there and just completely dominated Lennox Lewis or Vladimir Klitschko, just with the simplest of ease. It's hard for me to believe that. He was fast, he could move, and especially beforehand, I think he would have had a much better shot at it before, he had took the years off and stuff. But I just think it's really, really difficult to look and say, oh, yeah, he would just walk through those guys.
You see what it is, yeah? We still have institutions like the Ring magazine, and they've got the old school ethic. They said that Sonny Liston will knock out Vladimir in 6. But to me, it depends when they fought, And if you think about it, really, if Jesse Owens was to race Usain Bolt, Usain would be in the shower and Jesse would still be on the track. So there's no reason to think that the boxers today couldn't beat the boxers of yesteryear. A lot of times it's because we don't want to disrespect our elders because they're the forefathers. And I can understand that. But,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I can understand that, a lot of people say, oh, well, you're just saying that because you're around now. It's like, no, I'm not just saying that because I'm around now. I'm saying that, those guys back then could have stood a chance nowadays. But I'm just saying you got to look at things where we learn from some of the mistakes that those guys made back then. I think the guys are stronger now than they were back then. I mean, I think, they're bigger, obviously. Yeah. They're more athletic, and that's only those traits. I mean, we're not talking about the fact that, they're better skilled so much, or they learn more, and so it's just the athletic aspects of it. Just the size and those, those physical things.
Yeah.
When you look at that, it's gonna be a bit harder than most people think. Like you were saying that Ring Magazine said that Sonny Liston would have got Vladimir out in 6.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a chance of that. This is boxing. Anything can happen.
Man, I think he would have took him out in 6. But I reckon he would have took him out, man. That guy, you know what I'm saying?
You think Sonny would have took him out in 6?
Yeah, I think Sonny would have laid hands on him. I think as soon as Sonny laid hands on him, but I think I think Joe Frazier would have laid him. Like anyone put hands on Vladimir, because I'm watching your fight, and to be honest with you, it's like the reach advantage. I mean, you're slipping and sliding, but it's hard to hit him. I'm saying if you lay hands on him, anyone who's laid hands on him, they can take him out.
Right, but any fighter, especially heavyweight division, anybody that lays hands on you, absolutely.
No, but Sonny, man, when Sonny lays hands on you, it's not. It's
different.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I believe they call him the bear for a reason, right? He gets you out of there. I believe that.
Yeah.
However, would he have been able to lay those hands? And before that, would he have been able to lay his hands before Vladimir lays his? Vladimir is bigger. Vladimir is just as strong. Vladimir hits probably as hard, and he's probably faster.
I think
he's faster, but let me say something. Do you know their reach? Their reach is probably not the different. Their reach. You see, Sonny Liston's reach was. His reach is really long.
I think. Yeah, but it's also the idea. See, I think he would take punches to give punches. Guys back then would do that. Vladimir's not taking to give. He's not taking no punches to give no punches. It's his turn, and that's it. And that's the thing. And you'll clinch. I'm talking Vladimir with Emmanuel Stewart.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh yeah. That's true.
I think the pre-Emmanuel Stewart trained Klitschko, Liston would knock him out. I would say he'd knock him out. But a Manny Stewart trained Klitschko, I'm not sure. And especially, it depends what Liston he fought. If he fought the untrained Liston who lost the title against Ali, could be a different story.
So you're a big basketball fan. So I was saying, what basketball team you like?
It's funny because some people who are basketball fans, I can't watch certain team. I can watch absolutely any team. I love the sport. I play it all the time. Trust me, I'm a huge basketball fan. But my actual teams that I like to watch
or play,
Brooklyn and Atlanta Hawks.
What team's that again? What team's that again?
The Brooklyn Nets and Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, okay, Brooklyn Nets. Yeah, they're all right. Jason Williams down there with Joe Johnson and yeah. And who was the other team? What's the other team again?
The Atlanta Hawks.
Oh yeah, Atlanta. That's down there with Horford and them boys there. Yeah?
And Josh Smith. Yep.
Yeah. Because I'm a basketball coach and I teach. Yeah. I'm a basketball coach and over here, and I
might need your help, man.
Hello, man. You Americans, you guys are really good over there, man. So what age you been playing? You used to play you play basketball a lot then?
No, you know what? I do. I mean, I was street, but I'm very careful. I don't do a lot of extra stuff. You know what? I've never been coached ever.
Oh, okay.
And I love. You have no idea how much I love the sport of basketball. You have no idea. Honestly, when I was young, I had an opportunity to try out for the high school team, and I feel like I would have made it. But the problem was I started boxing.
Yeah.
And when I started boxing, when I started boxing, I kind of lost the not so much lost the interest, but I just couldn't because the way my dad was. Oh no, I had to put all my effort into to the boxing.
Mm-hmm.
No games, no playing around.
Mm-hmm.
So and I think that is what stopped me. And I never really spoke my mind on the subject. Hey, I wanted to try basketball, Dad. I never really did that, so I kind of missed the boat on it. But I absolutely love it. And like I said, if I had the opportunity to finally get coached, I might add a little bit, more game to my game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I understand. Let me ask you a question then. So how do you come up with the name Fast Hands? It's obviously because you got fast hands, but that's the reason obviously because you got fast hands, yeah?
Yeah, the reason that actually I didn't come up with it because I really didn't have an idea for a name.
Mm-hmm.
That just shows the kind of person I am. I mean, I don't think of myself in any. So I would have just been. It would have just been me. But anyway, my promoter at the time came up with it, and the reason is, of course, because my speed is for a heavyweight, but he got it from He got it from an old movie. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He got it from an old movie, and the movie was, what was the movie called? The Hustler. You know what I mean?
Oh.
It's called The Hustler. And it was about Full Hustler, and his name was Fast Eddie Felson.
Yeah.
And I actually watched it. And it was actually a good movie.
Is that Paul Newman? Yeah, Paul Newman. Is that Paul Newman in that movie, right?
Yeah, Paul Newman was in there.
Yeah.
And it was interesting. I was like, wow. I like this. You know what I mean? But that's where I got the name from initially. And then it kind of took off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So let me ask you about them because I asked you about a couple of fights and that. So what did you think about the Berto and Guerrero fight?
I thought Berto he could have done some things different, but I really hate to see a guy who basically just mauls you and puts his head in your face and headbutts you all night. And because and the reason I don't like that, I'm gonna tell you why I don't like that. It's because if you can beat someone, you can do it within the rules. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you can beat someone, just do it within the rules. Yeah. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? And I think a lot of these guys, and when and Abner Myers did the same thing.
Yeah.
When he fought
Joseph Rebecco.
Moreno, right?
Yeah, Moreno,
And also with, like you said, Joseph Rebecco, the same thing. And I'm just sitting there like, what is the deal with this? When are these refs going to start, penalizing for those things?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not just low blows and the behind the head and the liver shots, which they don't even say anything about liver shots really. Anyway, but things like that, or holding, or start penalizing for the things that are obvious, that are glaring. Guys headbutting purposely, just basically holding your arms and pushing you back through, and then they're going to start their offense. They're going to put their head into your head and swing their arms over top. Listen to this. Where I grew up, that was called the windmill, and girls did it. You understand what I'm saying? You stand up there, and you move your head, you throw your punches, do what the sport been brought along all these years, or what you're meant to do in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Work on your craft. Don't just learn a way to screw the system. You know what I'm saying? Go in there and really fight. That's what had bothered me. Those are great fighters, don't get me wrong, but those things bothered me. And I just thought, yeah, Berto could have done so much more, but I thought Berto corrupted a lot of his offense because of not understanding distance more. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know Guerrero was just trying to get close, or, you know, when Berto did get free, he was able to throw some punches and stuff like that. But, see, I think Berto overshot a lot of punches. So his opportunities to land punches would have to be like when he's sitting in front of him, body to body almost. And if you're there, then you got Guerrero's head in your face, and he's swinging those shots over the top and just swinging. And it's like it really negates any offense you can really put together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I just don't like that way. I really don't like the clinch. You know what I mean? It's boxing. It's not grappling. It's not anything in MMA. It's not, jiu-jitsu or anything like that, which I do like those things, but it's none of those. It's boxing, hand-to-hand combat.
But what if I was to propose a counter-argument that shouldn't you really go in the ring preparing for a potential dogfight? So if somebody does do that, you should be prepared to meet fire with fire or have a prerequisite attack to that, shouldn't you? Really?
Absolutely right. You are 150% right. But should I have to prepare for a guy's both the guy's hands and also their head?
Yeah, that's long. Yeah, that's out of order. I would. What would you, Eddie? Yo. So what would you do? I said to Beach here. I said that over the referee should penalize them. But I said to you, on the real, I'd do the same thing back to him. I'd butt him and just do the same thing.
Right.
What would you do? What would you do?
See, the thing is, I'm a clean style fighter. I really don't do a lot of dirt. However, in those situations, you got to do something. You got to change But see, it's really, really difficult. You can try to do that back, but all you're going to do is have both of your heads together and y'all swinging shots over the top, and ain't nobody going to land anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It looks ridiculous. But,
and
then it takes away from the sport. It really does, man. It makes fights that should be more entertaining. It's like, you watch the Jose Luis Castillo and
Corrales.
Corrales fight, and then you see the Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward fight, and then you look at back in the day the Hearns Leonards, the Ali Fraziers, you know what I mean, the Tyson Holyfield. You don't see a lot of that in those fights.
I'm a bit older than you, and that's not true. You had guys like Fritzy Zivic. Duran was quite dirty. Fritz, he was a welterweight champion. He fought Sugar Ray Robinson, very dirty fighter. Duran was dirty.
I didn't mention Ray. I didn't mention when you say Ray Robinson in those fights. I look at a lot of that stuff could have been at that point. It was born at that point. And if you watch it, even Ray was doing it sometimes.
Yeah.
But he was just so ahead of his time with his skill level and his speed and strength and all that at those weights that he just shined so much brighter than them. But yeah, you're right. There's still a lot, even some of those fights. But the ones I mentioned were clean, exciting, fun fights.
Yeah, and that's
a lot of foul-filled stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
the kind of stuff you want.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say with the Holyfield fight, Evander, he knew how to get up under and bring the head up a little bit. However, he didn't put his head down and swing over the top. He was banging, and he wasn't scared. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's what, those fights, or these fights nowadays, at least a couple of these fights. But you know what? I got the perfect one for you. My man, the Mexican kids, man, he got big. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now.
Pereira, Morales, Chavez?
No. Yeah, that one was good, too. That was a good one, too. You talking about Chavez and Martinez. But no, I'm talking about the fight of the year. You got Mike Alvarado.
Oh,
Brandon Rios, yeah.
Exactly. Those two, they got their head right in there. And they fighting. Now, I think they could have done a little bit better defensively. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
However, it's clean, good, fun. I mean, they might have thrown a couple of shots south of the border, maybe behind the head, and that stuff happens in boxing. If you turn your head a certain way, that happens. And you understand that. But the strategy that they brought, they didn't put their head in somebody's face and then start swinging over the top. It's very difficult to defend that and then try to fight yourself, because then you got their head and their hands you got to worry about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really hard to get off the top. If you reach down and throw an uppercut, you're going to catch overhand rights all night long. You understand what I'm saying? It's very, very difficult. Even throwing left uppercuts or anything that when they put their head down that you're going to be able to use. And it's just not fair, man. It's really not fair. Somebody has to say something about that. I had it happen to me one time. I had it happen to me in a fight early on in my career, and the guy knew he was doing it, and it was smart. He made the fight, you know, he made the fight interesting and had people looking at me like, yo, this guy ain't really like that. You know what I mean? And it was because he did that, he used that strategy. Nobody was saying anything. He was holding me, headbutting me, pushing me, grabbing my legs. He didn't even throw a punch to get in. He was just running with his head down and try to throw punches over the top or hold me.
But in a way, I can feel for him because you're a very technically adept fighter. And if I was fighting you, I'd probably, because you're very, you know all the technical aspects. You can shoulder roll for a heavyweight. You can use your feet well. So you're a thinking fighter. I mean, I'd probably say 80% of heavyweights haven't got your skill set. So what are they going to do? They're going to have to try and roughhouse you out of it.
Or beat you on the outside like Klitschko.
That's if they've got the reach advantage.
Right.
How many Klitschkos are there?
Right. And I agree with you. You got to play to your strengths, and I do understand where you're coming from. And there's nothing wrong with that. But within the parameters, within the
parameters of the rule. You can't hold and hit someone like Guerrero.
Exactly.
That's why I call him Guerrero Cheeto. That's what I call him. I call him Guerrero Cheeto. And I pose another thing. I won't be surprised if he had clay in his gloves, because I've never seen him hit someone's face, and I never seen someone's face look like that before. You know
what's funny?
Yeah, go on.
You know what's funny about that? A lot of that was from his head.
That
was from his head too. So I mean, when you start the swelling with the headbutts and then you start punching on it, it's gonna get increased, you know. And that's just what I'm saying, man. You know what I mean? I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting right with you, and I'm like, you know, they have to start. You know, you have to find a way. I know it's difficult to call everything, and you don't want to slow the fight down. You don't want to make it boring, but you got to start preparing for that. You know?
Yeah, but that was plain to see, though. But it was plain to see he was holding him, hitting him. The referee was too old. But the thing is, you got you got to fight, man. I mean, what I mean, Beats was saying, like, obviously, you have to learn inside. Like, he didn't know how to fight inside. He had no idea. And we see what's his name again? Joseph Abeko versus that guy.
Morris.
That was blatant. At Morris, it was blatantly hitting him low, though. Blatantly hitting him low, like the referees are not protecting you. So it's like, why? If referee's not protecting you, shit, I'm gonna hit him low as well. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna go in there. I might as well hit him low as well.
You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta find a way to even the playing field.
That's
you know what I'm saying. And it's like, well, what do you? And it's like, is this going to be a foul fest? Is this what we really want to do? Well, you know what? Let's take it to the MMA. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only thing that you can. That's the only thing we're missing. The hold and headbutt, and then the funny thing is, in the MMA, you can't headbutt. You can't hold. You can hold, but you can't headbutt. You can't hit in the nuts. You can't do any of those things. You know what I mean?
No.
And they're still doing it in our sport. Can we clean it up? That's all I'm asking. Clean it up. I guarantee you get plenty of exciting fights. You know what I mean? You'll get different contrasted styles. It'll be more enjoyable. People won't be wanting to lead, hit for the exits early from boredom so much, unless of course, there's some guys that just don't want to really mix it up, and it can take away from the the excitement level. We know that, but I mean, a lot of this fouling and all this, it just really takes away from the excitement, and it just makes it not fun anymore. For me, I love skills. I love watching a guy that can fight. You know what I mean? But I also love the guts. I like the toughness and the heart and the power and all aspects. But you will see that if you see a clean fight. That's why the rules are there. You know?
I agree with you. I agree with you.
No doubt.
You got anything else you want to add, Beats?
Well, I was just thinking, in a combat sport, the referee does have to allow for a certain amount of foul play, but it depends how far he goes. I would say Guerrero got away with too much, though. I would definitely say that.
And you know what? And that's all I'm saying. If people, for the referee to acknowledge, I didn't really pay attention enough to that. And sometimes, and I understand. I'm not mad. I mean, it's hard to be a referee. I couldn't do it. You know what I mean? I just fight. I couldn't be the referee because you have a great a great responsibility. And if a guy gets hurt too bad or is treated too bad in there and getting hit with low blows or, you know, and you are allowing it, they're going to look at you. So it's a tough job. But you do have that job. And if you sign up for it, you got to take care of it. You know what I mean? And you can't let them get away with so much. And I understand you don't want to, like I said, you don't want to slow it down. You don't want to make it boring, and you don't want to always be into the fight. You want to stay out of the fight and let these two guys go and handle their business and fix it whenever they do something that's a little bit wrong. And that's what they need to do. Step in when it's necessary.
Sometimes I think it could be a conspiracy to marginalize slick boxer counterpuncher types.
Oh yeah, no question. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like we were just saying about some guys in the heavyweight division, and their only way to be able to, you know, get with a guy like myself, it would be to maul and you know, make it an ugly fight. Yeah. So I understand those things. I understand strategy, but within the rules.
Eddie, let me ask you a question, because and this is to do with obviously your future. So you're moving down to cruiserweight, and the stuff that we were talking about. That's how, I'm not saying Dennis Lebedev fights like that, but Marco Hook does. He don't mind getting that. Listen, you're getting a cruiserweight division where these guys are real crude, and a finesse boxer like yourself. I mean, these are the things that you may encounter, and then maybe if them fights gonna be in Russia, they're gonna allow that stuff. So I don't know. Now you're gonna have to work on some serious try and get him out of there early, or you're gonna you're gonna have to work on you're gonna have to work on your elbow game.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know Floyd, yeah. This is the thing with Floyd, right? See, when the Philly show, Victor Ortiz was complaining how Floyd was elbowing him because he was trying to do these dirty tactics. Floyd was elbowing him in his eye, right, as he was coming in with that bullshit. Now I'm just saying, you want to work on your elbow game, where you're protecting yourself, but you're not fouling. So as soon as they come in with their head, use your elbow in their eye.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know what? Hey, you know, if I ever have to go over there, you know what? I'm actually gonna think about you when you said that.
The Victor Ortiz plan. That's how to deal with them pressure fighters when they come in. You put the elbow in there. When they come in with their head, you put the elbow in the eye, right? And when they try and roll it, you push them away. They can't see the other punch coming. They're afraid. That's
that is 100%. Hey, look, and the thing is, I've been doing little things. It's different because these guys are southpaws too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lebedev is anyway. And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's right. So we have to look out for you, bro. So any little tips we can give, we can share with you. That's it, because you'll find you going down there, right? And they're gonna try and, you know, get close and try and do their dirty tactics, especially.
Yeah, they won't be able to box with Eddie, so that's what they're gonna do.
Oh
yeah. So you use that elbow where you're not really fouling, you're just using it as a thing right in their side of their face or their chin, and then throwing them punches. You'll get them, take them, and that'll give you some room. That'll give you some room now, and then you can take them out there.
Right. That's right. That's right. You know what I mean? Hey, look, I just want to get a fair opportunity, a fair shake, man, in these fights, man. That's all. You know what I mean? And you know how difficult that can be. And I've been in the heavyweight division, so I know. You know what I mean? The two of the losses I have, not saying that the Povetkin fight I shouldn't have lost, but I will say that the scorecards were a little bit different, a little wider than they should have been. You know what I mean? As well as the fight with Adamic. So I mean, you kind of understand that, you expect it. So, like you said, got to brush up on some of the tactics. You know, some of the tactics, and also be ready to throw punches and win these fights. You know, definitely go out and win these fights.
I think, you know what I think, to be honest with you, if you go down to them, I'm just speculating, but I think if you go to them fights, and I don't think they're gonna give you the decision on the card, man. I think you're gonna have to knock. I think you have to knock these cats out, bro.
No question.
I think you're gonna have to knock these cats out nice and within. You know what I'm saying?
Are you punching harder at Cruiser?
You say it again?
Do you think your punching is going to increase at Cruiser? Or
you're going to have more power. You're going to have more power in Cruiserweight. Do you reckon you're going to have more power in the Cruiserweight division?
Yeah, I think, you know, I'm fighting guys my size now, so I'm not hitting a wall. You know what I'm saying? I'm hitting somebody that, you know, is equal in size with me, even if they're a bit taller or a bit shorter or whatever. They're still equal in size, so I think it's going to definitely carry more power. I think a great deal more power than what was recognized. Like, I'll give you an example. When I fought like Povetkin or, Dimitrenko, and I dropped them or I hurt them, and it just, didn't completely take them out completely, whereas it took a lot more work for me to get to that point. I don't think it will take as much in the cruiserweight division.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, it sounds like things are going right. So where do you reckon your debut is going to cruiserweight division? Are you going straight in? I don't know. Are you in negotiations straight for a champion or what? Are you still with Goosen too? Promotion?
No, I'm actually with the Duva. I'm actually doing work with Kathy Duva.
Oh yeah, so that's you. So you're on CBS. Your fights be on CBS, right?
NBC, yeah.
Yeah, NBC. Yeah. Oh, okay, so are you? So is there any negotiations for one of the champions at the cruiserweight division right now?
Right now, it looks like Lebedev wants to fight his promoter, his manager, or whatever wants to fight. I don't know what they see, but okay, whatever. And they're talking about MSG soon. I'm thinking maybe, because of the injuries and stuff that I had recently, that I get a nice fight in, maybe around February, and then after that we can discuss it. That's something I'm looking to do. However, when you get these opportunities, sometimes you just got to go ahead and just, take them, especially, being able to fight on U.S. soil, not too far from where I live. It's a few hours, it's in New York, but it's just an opportunity, I think, that if given and if that's the only one, you just can't pass it up. You know what I mean? I think that's, in that regard, it may take, I may need to, decide to go that route. However, I'm not sure. We're gonna see what happens and where what's the general consensus of what we really want to do and what direction we're going.
Excellent.
Okay then. All right then. Have you got any contact details like Twitter and Facebook?
Well, I have Twitter, Instagram, and they're both at @FastEddie. My Facebook is it's a fan page. It's Fast Eddie Chambers is the fan page, and those are the things you can connect me on. It's social networking, fans and friends and all, and family, whoever. You know what I mean? Can find out what I'm doing and follow me there. You know what I mean? It really would it really get people viewing me more and one thing is that I really would love. These fights, these opportunities are great because at the cruiserweight level, because really there's not a whole lot of shine to get the cruiserweight. Cruiserweight division doesn't get a lot of shine, and I think they have really very, very good fighters and very interesting fights in that division. And I think because it's a little heavyweight, that it kind of, it kind of takes away from the actual, you know what I mean? And then it's called cruiserweight. You know what I mean? That's another thing. If it was called heavyweight, and then the other division was, and then that bigger division was super heavyweight, then I think it would be a little bit better, and I think people would actually want to be in that division a bit more. So I do appreciate these fighters willing to step up to the plate and take these challenges. And it's a great thing for the sport. It's a great thing for the division.
Definitely. It's mainly because most of the fights are in Germany and there's no unified champion. But I guess you're gonna sort that all out. Go down there, unify, because obviously you be American. Go down and unify all the belts down there. I guess. I mean, I think Steve Coleman. He's heavyweight now. He's heavyweight now. Yeah, he's heavyweight now.
Yeah, he went up to heavyweight. Yeah, he moved up. Yeah.
He's crazy.
That's funny. That's funny. He moves up, I move down.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we're staying out of each other's way. How about that?
Yeah.
No problem.
All right. So you'll be easing off the turkey this Christmas, I guess. You won't be too heavy on the turkey because you're looking to fight by February, you said?
Yeah, February should be the best possible date. I mean, I'm looking for my medical clearance, which I'm going to get, and to go and resume sparring and all those things that I was doing before, and really start to get in shape and get prepared for a fight.
Okay.
Once I get that, I'm already training now. I'm teaching a class, a boxing class. You know what I mean? So I'm really focused on what it's going to take for me to be in shape. Like I said, I'm 203, 204 pounds right now. So,
okay.
I mean, it's not going to be a problem me losing the weight to get for the division. I'm not even going to have to really even focus on the weight as much. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of
strategy. Yeah, strength, conditioning, and strategy. Yeah, excellent. That's good to hear.
I can't go in there unprepared. You know what I mean? I want to make sure when I get down there, it's just going to be another thing. You know what I mean? No big deal, no weight, no super big transition with the weight and everything. I just want to make it all simple. You know?
Okay. All right.
Okay, then, champ.
It's been a great interview, man. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
I enjoyed the conversation, man. This wasn't necessarily even an interview. This was this was what they call barbershop talk. You know what I mean? You talk about what you like and what you don't like, and what you're gonna be doing. And I like these kind of conversations. This is stuff that this is why I don't ever mind doing interviews. I like to talk sometimes.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie, man. That's the way we try and keep it like that. We're gonna post it on your wall on your Twitter page, and we're gonna keep in contact with you, chap.
That's fine. That's perfect, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, no then, problem man. All right, chap. You have a nice evening, though. We'll talk to you soon, bro.
The same here, man. Stay in touch. I'll see you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Take care, Eddie. Peace.
All right, peace, bro.
All right, talk to you later, man. Take it easy, fellas.
All right, peace, bro. Peace.